is up, guys? We're back with another video, and today we're talking about some more Stranger Things Season 5 updates. But before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. So, we just found out that the cast for Stranger Things has read the final episode for the finale of Season 5, and this comes from a podcast called In the Envelope. They interview Gaten Matarazzo, and he touches on some very interesting points. I'm going to pull this video up for you guys so you can hear what he said.
This moment, do you know how Stranger Things ends?
I do.
Is that information you have in your head?
That is information that I have in my brain. We actually read our last episode collectively together on my birthday, this past Sunday. Yeah, that's where the weight was lifted of like, we never knew how this was going to go. And regardless of what anybody thinks, it was one of those where I'm like, I'm not going to let anything get in the way of me just feeling centered and loving of this room and this piece of paper and everybody here that's reading this, because this is family. And it was really intense. It was a beautiful moment that I'm really glad that I have actively. And after we've finally seen how it's wrapping up, it really is just like, okay, we just focus on doing it now that we know what this arc is from 1 to 5.
So as we hear Gaten talking about basically that it was really intense and it was just a beautiful moment with the cast reading the final episode and the script and everything. Now I can only imagine how it was, at that table read with the whole cast being that they grew up together. They're like literally family. Like he said, they're family. So it's them basically seeing another part of their life just fade away because it's over with. Season 5 is the final season. And I can imagine, everything they felt, the emotions and everything just being tangled at that table read. And to be honest, the finale, if it's going to be like Season 4, this is going to be like a whole film, like feature length, like 2.5 hours like Season 4. So it's going to be a lot going on. And to kind of get into it a little bit more, this finale, me just talking about it out loud has me nervous. So imagine, Gaten knowing about what goes on with Dustin and his fate and everything, and knowing about the other characters. And he basically said that this makes everything come full circle. Everything is just like full circle, and all now they have to do is just execute it because they now know everything with their characters and what's going to go on, and they've been waiting for this. So they now know what's going on with the finale of Stranger Things Season 5. That's a lot of pressure. I think just because this is one of the biggest endings in TV series history, and like I said, some things that I kind of thought and pointed out with this was that Dustin actually obviously makes it to the finale because he's at the table read for the finale of Season 5. So he's not going to be, killed or anything throughout, the season, like in the middle or nothing like that, because a lot of people are scared at this point. We're not knowing who's up for grabs. Steve Harrington, Robin, we don't know, but it seems to be that him and 2 other of the cast are going to make it to the finale, being Will and 11, just because they actually made him a birthday cake for his birthday. So he said that they actually read this finale episode in a script on his birthday, which is September 8th. And he said that Will and 11, Millie and Noah, brought him a cake for his birthday, and that even made him emotional.
It was a very weird, I was like, do I want this to be my birthday? Like, I went in, and adorably enough, Millie and Noah made me a cake the night before, and it had like smushed on the way over, and it like settled weird, and it was very reminiscent of Hagrid's cake to Harry in the first Harry Potter, and it was enough to make me feel emotional just in that moment before we even sat down and read it.
So they actually came to the table read or whatever, but it could just be them going to see everyone's emotions and reactions. I know if I was a part of the Stranger Things cast, even if I didn't make it, or I'm just saying I'm not in the finale, I'll still go to see everybody's reaction. They're great friends, so that doesn't mean nothing, but it seems that they survive, to the finale. But like I said, it's very interesting that we're going to have Will and 11 and Dustin make it to the end. But I feel like if someone's going to get took out that has like a big name, like a Dustin or 11 or a Will, it's going to probably happen in the finale where there's no space or no elbow room to kind of pick up the pieces. Like, I think if someone big gets unalived, at this point, it's nothing to explain. Like, this is the end of Stranger Things. He just talked about how they gotta focus now and just execute it because now they know the plan for season 5 and things like that. And I touched on, in previous videos what I think could happen with this finale, with Will Byers and 11, Mike Wheeler, Steve Harrington, Nancy, all those big names I think could potentially be up, at the plate to be killed, just because I feel like they have a lot of story behind them that explains why they could be in a bad situation. And I think everyone's kind of wrote the B out like that, with the characters and things like that. But I think it's very interesting when you sit here and think about it, that when you look at season 1, how it kicked up with Dungeons and Dragons, and Will Byers, he goes missing and everything kind of kicks up from there. Like when Will goes missing, we see a lot of bits and pieces that make sense now that we see in season 4 with the mind flare and how Will was like possessed, or the upside down was connected to him. Remember how Billy was in season 3, in a pool room with the kids. I'm kind of wondering like what's going on with them, like what's taking over them. And we find out later in these seasons that it's actually Vecna. That's the big connection with the upside down. He's the villain. So I feel like that pattern is going to keep going on. So in season 5, I'm pretty sure we're going to find something out that's going to be full circle. I mean, it's a lot of unanswered questions with Stranger Things as of now, and I'm pretty sure knowing the Duffers and the way they write, they're going to definitely explain a lot of things that are important, only like the important things. I think that they're going to just kind of bring things full circle, like basically Dustin's talking about. And just, I really think where you kind of sit and think about this, season 4 was season 4. That piggyback episode was insane. Just everything. Kate Bush, all this was just crazy. Now, I feel like when you sit here and just put everything together, this ending right here with Stranger Things is going to be one of the craziest endings ever. Just because we see the lead up. We see what Hawkins is going through now. We see Max being in a coma. We see, 11 still being wanted and everything. It's just so much going on. Nancy and Steve Harrington and Jonathan are in the love triangle, and I just think it's going to be a lot. Mike Wheeler, I think that it's going to be something with him and 11 where someone's going to get their heart broke in a way where I think that 11, she might not make it. I just don't see her making it, guys, just because she's that hero. I think she's the one that can take that extra step to make that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And with Vecna, I think Vecna's going to have the upper hand in this battle. And I'm not saying Vecna's going to win, but I think 11's going to take out Vecna, but it's going to take so much of her, you know what I'm saying? Like power and just her making that sacrifice for her body, her energy. I think it's just going to be just so much with her when she sacrifices. It's going to end bad. And I think they're going to still defeat Vecna, but it's going to be something where they have to stick together on their own. I think that 11 is going to make that killing blow, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit of Vecna is still going to be up and running or something, just to give, the group their flowers too. So showing that they can stick together without 11. I can be wrong, maybe Will helps too. I talked about maybe Will the Wise. Maybe he has powers, maybe Vecna actually is so powerful he kind of just brushes off powers to Will, and Will switches up on his friends for a moment. Then he comes back to reality and notices that, hey, I have to take you out. You took out 11. You know what I'm saying? I keep thinking about that episode where they take Will out the water and, the kids are looking at him and like, it's Will. It's him whole time. It wasn't Will. And I'm thinking like, what if it has to be, since Will's the connection, right? I think that he's going to have to be the one to go. Also, it's so weird. Like, Will's the connection, so he's going to have to be the one to make it unconnected, if you know what I'm saying. He's keeping it alive, kinda. And then 11, she created the portal. She created the, the portal to the upside down, and she created Vecna. She created her own monster villain, you know what I'm saying? So she's going to be the one to have to take him out. But I feel like in order for it to get to that point where they're understanding, like, we gotta get to a point to take out Vecna, they're going to notice after Will is unalived, after Will is killed, you know what I'm saying? And that's how they're going to find out the formula of everything, because me knowing the Duffers and how they write, it's almost one of those things where it has to end the way it started, you know what I'm saying? But overall, it's crazy knowing that they know what's going on. think about how they feel, that weight that's off their chest, and how they feel now knowing that this is how it's going to end after all these years, you know. So I just can imagine the pressure they have on them not being able to talk about it. I mean, maybe we'll hear some stuff about like a table read here soon. They definitely do things like that, like showing the cast do the table reads, but it kind of doesn't show them talking about it. Just kind of like pictures or something, or them pulling up to the table read, and you know, the doors open and people are walking in to sit down, stuff like that. I mean, we did get that BTS of Stranger Things season 5. We're seeing like Millie Bobby Brown behind the scenes. We're seeing Sadie Sink, and it looks like documentary-ish. I want to say I heard something about them doing a documentary for season 5. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to do like, you know, a documentary for season 5 like they did the Beyond Stranger Things on Netflix, just because the BTS looked very documentary, and I'm pretty sure they're going to have that table read on there. They got to go all out with the merch, everything. This is the biggest show, in my opinion, Stranger Things. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get a documentary or something like that. And I think that this finale right here is going to have a lot of fans just in an emotional just ball. Like, we're just going to just be so fucked after this. But I think it's going to give us some closure, you know, as Stranger Things fans and stuff like that. And I'm so happy, you know, on September 8th, on Gaden's birthday, that they read it, and now we know. Possibly, you know, with the finale being so fucking long, it's probably going to take a long time to shoot that. Like, you know, it takes like a year for someone to shoot a movie. I'm not saying it's going to take that long, but 2 hours and you know, 2 hours and a half, that's longer than feature, you know, length films for real. So I feel like it's going to take a long time. We know we got Stranger Things Day coming up. Maybe we'll get some news then or something like that, some type of update. So be looking out for that possibly. And yeah, guys, pretty much that's all I'm going to talk about on today's video. Definitely smash the like button on this video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm on the road to 50,000 subscribers. I want you all to hit me on my social medias at ILIKESCARY on every platform, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.